The Flash Season 8 has now officially returned to the CW after its kind of mid-season break, even though it wasn't actually the middle of the season. It was the conclusion to the Armageddon crossover event, which was a really great 5-part event. I really enjoyed it. And now we're continuing and getting into the rest of the season, kind of the main part of The Flash Season 8. So the show just returned. New episodes on a new night. It's going to be on Wednesdays now on the CW. And with this returning episode 6 of Season 8, I'm going to be honest, I'm not really a big fan of it. It wasn't... It's kind of a lackluster episode. Like, it wasn't... I don't know. I mean, it all takes place... First, spoiler warning. Spoiler warning if you haven't seen the episode yet. Definitely make sure to go check it out. We're going to be talking full spoilers. But... this episode, I'll just wait till we get to talking about what the episode's actually about. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's jump into this and break down The Flash Season 8, Episode 6. So the episode begins kind of following up after the West Allen vow renewal at the end of Season 7. And we have Nora and Bart Allen there, of course, and they are now returning home. But when they get home, there's this weird green wave of energy, which seems very similar to the energy force that Dion used. Of course, he was able to manipulate time as well. But it turns out that this green wave of energy actually made some changes to the timeline, and that is actually due to the actions of Bart and Nora. So all of a sudden, Jay Garrick is alive, because of course at this point in time in the future, Jay Garrick is dead. So something's up here. He is now alive, as is also his wife, Rose, which usually his wife's name is Joan, but apparently in this timeline his wife's name is Rose. So there's definitely some weird stuff going on here, because it turns out Bart and Nora actually completely erased Joan from the timeline. So they need to go investigate. So they go to the Flash Museum and they do some investigations. And we get some great references here, including the Trickster, also Booster Gold, played by Donald Faison, who was just introduced to the Arrowverse in last week's Season 7 finale for DC's Legend of Tomorrow. So that was really cool getting that reference there to Booster Gold. But basically, the conclusion they come to after doing all the research is that Joe got shot back in 2013. So if they can save him, then that will hopefully fix the timeline. So they go back to 2013, and basically everything starts going wrong. First of all, it was cool seeing the show go back to that era of the Flash, back when the show was so good in its early seasons. In the 2013 era, we see that Eddie Thawne is still alive here, so he plays a role in this episode. This is before Barry gets his powers. We even get the formation of the Royal Flush Gang, which in this timeline is actually earlier than they originally form in the main timeline, which is super confusing here. But anyway, the Royal Flush Gang is trying to perform a heist. So of course Impulse and Excess have to stop them, and of course they end up doing that. They have bombs and everything like that, so they stop them. Bart also meets this girl named Avery, who's played by Piper Curda, which I just want to shout out real quick, because just like Jordan Fisher, who plays Bart Allen, she was also on Disney Channel. So it's kind of weird, watching these people now all grown up after growing up myself, watching them on Disney Channel. And they kiss at the end, so that's good for them. And then at the end of the episode, Bart and Nora return to their timeline and explain everything to Jay. And then he jokes about President Luthor, which of course is a reference to Lex Luthor becoming president, which is something that's happened in the comics. That's something that actually, speaking of the Arrowverse, was referenced in Crisis on Infinite Earths on the Smallville Earth, with Tom Welling Superman mentioning that Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor is the president. But then it's here at the end of the episode when we come back to present day, where Team Flash is going to Paris. They're celebrating the new year of 2022, so that's all great and everything. But left behind is a hairbrush, which all of a sudden, with that same similar green energy, disappears. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what all these time shenanigans are caused by. Is it all due to Bart and Nora? I don't know for sure. But then again, I don't know. I'm just not really interested in this storyline yet. There's not really anything hugely interesting going on here. And I pretty much just recapped everything that happened in the episode in, less than 5 minutes. So I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a terrible episode, but it just wasn't. It doesn't feel like there was anything really important that happened. It almost felt kind of like a filler episode, except somehow it is tied to the main storyline, which we don't even know what the main storyline is. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of this episode. If you did enjoy it, then definitely let me know in the comments below. And guys, you can let me know all your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments below as well. We'll be talking about the show again next week with episode 7, which, based off the promo, also doesn't look great either. We got the return of that gold guy. I don't even remember his name. But anyway, see you next week. For now, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep it to date on everything goes on in the DC life.